Hey guys, so we're gonna do a get ready with me today, and the idea came to me just right now, and I was like, you know what, let me do a get ready with me and do a chit chat get ready with me. I haven't done these in quite a while, so I hope that you guys are gonna enjoy it. I feel like they're very lengthy videos, but you know what, I figured that you guys like those more, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, let's get into it. So I've decided that the topic of this chit chat get ready with me is going to be about the importance of being single or being alone, and also the importance of, you know, solitude. And I'm also going to talk about self-sabotage. I'm sorry if you guys hear sounds in the background. I need to invest in a mic, but we'll get there one day. So yeah, I'm going to talk about two things: the importance of being alone in a relationship and also self-sabotage. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't want to make the intro too long, but I'm going to start by priming my face, and I'm using the Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser as per usual, and it's my usual foundation routine. The reason why I hate chit chat get rid of me is because it becomes very lengthy, and also sometimes you don't even know where you're going with the topic, and you just find yourself blabbing sometimes. And then the video is just too long and it's really unnecessary. So yeah, so what is self-sabotage? Before we get into the importance of being alone, self-sabotage is basically like when you see something good happening to yourself or in your life, and you end up sabotaging it. So you end up like, I put too much primer, but anyway, you end up putting yourself in a position where you might lose it. So you do it deliberately because you feel like you don't deserve that, like you feel like you don't deserve the kind of happiness in your life, and that's a really bad thing. It really is a bad thing. So I really wanted to talk about it, but before we get there, I'm gonna use powder on my face. I've seen this trend, not a trend, but like a makeup hack where they put powder first before the makeup, so I just wanted to try that. But plus my face has been kind of oily lately, so I think it's a really good hack. Okay, so yeah, that's what self-sabotage basically is. Why do people do that? I've realized that I've also been doing it a lot. I've been doing it a lot, you know. So I'm gonna talk from my experience. Someone else might be like, no, I do it for different reasons. So comment down below if maybe your reasons are not like mine. Comment down below if you agree with mine or if you disagree, whatever. But I'm gonna talk from my experience because that's the only thing I can talk from, because that's what I've been through. As you can see, my face looks a little bit matte right now. I don't know if it's visible on camera, but it's definitely not too oily. I think that's a really good hack. So why do people do it? Why do I do it? So the minute when I find something that makes me happy, whether it's a new relationship, it's mostly with relationships, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's stuff that's not relationships, like maybe my career. I'm gonna use this foundation, the Can't Stop One Stop foundation. This one is from NYX. This is honestly one of the best foundations for people with oily skin and for people of color. I think it's a really great foundation. So why do I do it? You know, like when you find something that makes you really happy and you ask yourself, no man, I'm way too happy. Like, why am I this happy? When is this happiness going to stop? When is it going to end? There has to be something wrong. Like, when is this person gonna fuck up? Sorry for the language, but when is this person gonna mess up so that, you know, I can just kick them out like I've kicked everybody out? So self-sabotage, I feel like with my experience, it comes from being disappointed a lot of times in your life, whether it's your lovers, your relationship partners, your parents. It comes from, when you're being disappointed so much in your life. Let me switch something off, it's making a lot of noise. So it comes from when you feel like you're basically too happy and you've been disappointed a lot in your life, and so because you're so used to the disappointment, you always just like, this person is probably gonna disappoint me like everybody else. So what you do so that you don't get to the, it's almost like a self-protecting mechanism, if I can call it that. So before that person disappoints you, what you do is you sabotage it. So you do things that will make that person lose interest in you. Now I'm talking about relationships. You do things where that person will now start losing interest in you. They'll stop calling, So most of the time what I do is I just go MIA. I know it's a bad thing. It's almost like ghosting. But it's not really ghosting. It's just like I go MIA, or I just don't text the person anymore. Or I don't come off as too wanting. So I don't try too hard the way I used to. Because I'm a lover. Like, I love really hard. So I end up like just not trying too hard, so that if this person is really going to disappoint me, at least I've protected myself. Like, I'm at a point where, I'm protected, and I'm not going to feel like, this guy is going to hurt me so bad. And sometimes you find that this person really does love you, and now you sabotaged the whole thing. And other times you find that the person's really playing you, and then you're just like, oh, thank God I protected myself. But the fact of the matter is that you could lose out on really good things with good people by doing that. So it's one thing that I picked up in my toxic behavior. I think the main path to growth is realizing your toxic behaviors. Like, realizing that now you're not perfect, like there's some toxic traits that you have, and then you realize and you pick them up and you're like, oh, this is what I do. You know what I mean? So we're not the same. Some people have other toxic traits and others have different ones. So mine is definitely that, like, I self-sabotage my relationships. And I don't think I'm the only one. I heard K Republic talking about it. I watched her get ready with me for her birthday edition. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been thinking about for the longest time. You're just being scared of being in love. And I think it comes from a place where it's like, you're scared that you don't, or not that you're scared, but you feel like you don't deserve happiness because bad things have been happening to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at other people that have been in relationships for 9+ years, and you can't even keep a relationship for a year. That sounds horrible, but it's deep, right? Like, you feel like you can't even keep a relationship for a year. That's it. 12 months. Like, 12 months is a long time, but you get people who've been in relationships for 5 years, and you're just like, I can't even keep someone for 6 months. Like, what am I doing wrong? So you end up feeling like you just don't deserve things that make you happy. Sometimes you end up sabotaging yourself because you feel like you don't deserve happiness. And you feel like no matter how hard you try, happiness just never comes your way. So as a self-protecting mechanism, what you do is you sabotage your relationships. You tell yourself that I am going to make it difficult for this person to connect with me. And so you end up, for me, I act distant. Sorry. I start being distant. Like, I start, being a bit MIA or being less available, because I don't want to find myself like in the deep feelings where I literally can't control it anymore. And it's a bad thing, because like I said earlier, like, sometimes you find that you could be ruining a really good thing with someone that's actually really good. Sometimes your instincts are good and you're just like, this person was probably not great for me. And that is totally okay. But you can't carry on like that forever. So I'm gonna now highlight, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and this one is in the shade 13. So I saw this new hack where you highlight like just in front and then like that. Apparently when you drag it down, it drags your face down. So I want to see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna go to my old method. But yeah, like sometimes you just feel like you don't deserve the happiness, and so you self-sabotage your relationships. And it's understandable, because as human beings, we don't like being disappointed, we don't like being hurt. But I think the one thing that my psychologist told me, and I was like, wow, she's actually so right, was when she told me, she's like, who said that disappointments will not happen? Like, who said it? Like, did anyone say you will never be disappointed? Nobody. Literally nobody told you you will never get disappointed in your life. You will never go through a heartbreak. Nobody said that it won't happen at all. Like, at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody. When you're in the hospital, did anybody tell you, no, you're never going to get hurt? It's never, never, ever, guaranteed, ever, ever going to happen. No. And that's exactly my point. Like, oh, it actually works. I feel like it works. It pulls your face a little bit more up compared to the other method. Okay. We learn every day. Okay, so yeah, that's what I was saying. Nobody ever said that you're never going to be disappointed and hurt. So sometimes it's just like, you need to tell yourself that, you know what, if it happens, if disappointment does come, how will I act? You know, and also a lot of the times when you jump into relationships, you already have like expectations, and I think that's what's ruining so many relationships, because you're expecting and then you're not verbalizing it. So now you're expecting that the other person's gonna buy you flowers. You're expecting that this person is gonna treat you well. You're expecting that this person is gonna take you out on date nights. You're expecting that they're gonna do certain things that your ex did for you. But do you understand that it's two different people? Or maybe you're expecting that they're gonna treat you different than your ex. It's like, it's expectations. You don't know that for sure. So that's why it's important to sometimes verbalize what you want out of a relationship before you get into it, because that's one of the mistakes that I made a lot. I would like just get into a relationship and be like, okay, we'll just see what happens, you know, we'll see where it goes, like, and that's such a horrible thing. It really is such a horrible thing, because now you're just like, it's like getting into a bus that you don't even know where it's going. It's like, you might be disappointed, you might be happy. Like, this bus could end up in a place that is beautiful, that you wanted to go to, or that you'd love to be at, or it could end up in, I don't know, like a ditch somewhere, and you find yourself like, oh my gosh, how did I even get here? So it's the same situation. Like, oh, I like it. It actually works, guys. So now I'm gonna set my face. Yeah, so now I'm gonna set my face, and I'm using the Maybelline Master Fix Set Loose Powder. I wanted to use the candid one, but it makes my face very patchy if I set. So I don't know. So yeah, as I was saying, we end up having like a lot of expectations, and that's, I think, what's ruining a lot of relationships. Expectations, you know. If you don't verbalize what you want in a relationship, you can't blame the other person when it ends up at a place where it's not where you want it to be. You hear what I'm saying, people? So yeah, that's one thing I can say. And then moving to the other topic of the importance of being alone. I'm sorry if you guys hear sounds, it's our gate. the importance of being alone. So being alone is really, really important, because sometimes when you jump from one relationship to the next, from one relationship to the next, from one relationship to the next, like, you're just not getting the time to actually, how do I put it, like, to reflect, and also to just sit back and sit down and be like, what do I really want out of a relationship? When I'm with someone else, what do I want? And also, am I completely happy with myself to the point where I can love somebody else? So you get to a point where you're just like, you're not sure if you're completely at a place where you're fine and you want to love somebody else and you're ready, and all that trauma and relationship red flags have come out, because a lot of times we take the trauma and then we move on to other relationships, like, immediately. Someone would break up with someone one day and then the next day you're dating somebody else. Make it make sense, guys. Or the next week or the next month. Like, teach a girl. I mean, how do you guys do it? But I think my point is just that sometimes you need to be alone sometimes. And I think it's when you're alone, because I've been single. Okay, I can't talk much about that, but I think when you are alone, you learn what you want and what things annoy you. Like, you end up, like, learning a little bit more about yourself. You end up learning a little bit more about what you want and what you actually don't want in a relationship or from somebody else. Sorry, I just want to carve out my cheekbones a little bit more. Okay, that's better. So you actually learn what you want and how you want it and stuff like that. So when you're just jumping from one relationship to the next, you're not giving yourself time to actually introspect and be like, what didn't work out with that one and how would I want the next one to be different? Because when you just jump from one to the next, it's just like you're just saying, okay, I'm leaving it to the universe to figure out. And a lot of the times you don't take the time to reflect and check what actually didn't work out. Was it me? Was it the other person? Was it us? And what did we do wrong? So that I don't take that to the next relationship and the traumas in all of that. So I think that's one of the things that make relationships fail. Because now you're sitting with all that trauma of the past relationship, and now you bring it to your next relationship, and it's like, what is that person supposed to do? Like, what are they supposed to do? You know what I mean? So personally, guys, I think be alone sometimes, you know, because I think people think that solitude is mutually exclusive with being lonely. It's not. When you're alone, you just like you figure yourself out. You figure out a lot of things. You work on yourself so that when you're in a relationship, you're actually compatible to love somebody else. Now, I know we're not perfect. Nobody is, and I don't think we'll ever be to a point where we're so perfect that we can completely love someone perfectly. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a difference between that and just letting go of the traumas. So that is perfection, and that does not exist. But understanding your traumas, dealing with them, and then moving on to the next relationship, I mean, that is way better than just jumping from one to the next to the one to the next. Next thing, you taking it to your marriage. Like, you're taking all the trauma that you went through in first year varsity into your marriage at the age of 32, for example. Like, and then what? So yeah, I think that's the importance of being alone. And like I said, it's honestly, people see it as being lonely, being pathetic. When you see everybody else in a relationship, especially like Valentine's Day, it gives so much people so much pressure to quickly get into something. Like, just for that feeling of I'm with someone, like, oh my gosh, I'm with someone. No, that is so messed up, because now you just want that feeling of someone else loving you instead of being in love. So that's the difference between love and attachment. So attachment is just that feeling of like how the other person makes you feel. It's like you're in there for your own benefits, for your own good, and you just don't care how the other person feels. As long as they're there and they're making you feel good, you're fine. That's kind of messed up. So I'm just gonna brush it off with this brush. It really is messed up, because it's like, do you even love this person? So I read somewhere, no, I was actually watching a video on this other YouTube channel. I forgot the name, but the guy basically said that's the difference between attachment and love. So that's attachment, and love, on the other hand, is like you love the person and you care about their life, their well-being, and just them being in a good place. You know, when you love someone, you're in a position where you're even ready to let them go if being in a relationship with you does not make them happy. Whereas attachment, you'll be like, no, let's just make it work. No, let's just do this. Let's just... No, because you're so used to how this person's making you feel, and you don't want to lose that. It's not because you love them. It's because you want them to make you feel good. So it's just that thing where you just want that person to make you feel good instead of, you know, actually being in love with the person. And that's the difference between love and attachment. So yeah, it ends up becoming a bit messed up. Don't let the outside world give you pressure, like this pressure of quickly getting into a relationship before Valentine's Day. Don't do it. It's a mess. It's a mess, because then now you're gonna have to deal with all those feelings and everything after the whole, you know, the whole phase. Should I call it a phase? Like that period of that emotional high of feeling good during Valentine's Day. And then what? And then what? I remember was it last year? Yeah, last year on Valentine's Day, I spent my day with my friend. And it was actually the best Valentine's Day I've had in my life. Better than when I was in relationships. Sorry, but it's the truth. Like, it was definitely so much better, because I was in such a good space where I just felt good to be alone. Like, the Valentine's Day before that was horrible. It was actually pathetic if I think about it. Like, how do you buy someone else a present and they don't even get you shit? Like, nothing at all. Make it make sense, Bazwalani. Like, this person didn't buy me anything, you guys. Like, and I'm not such a materialistic person, but it's just that thing of like, okay, I am materialistic, if I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to like my goals and achievements. But when it comes to love, I'm just like, take the person as they come. But like, my love language is definitely gifting and getting gifts. And even if you don't have the money to buy a gift, like, we're at a university, I'm sure you have a pen and a paper. You can just write a letter if you feel like you literally don't have enough money to buy someone. So I'm going to use this to contour. If you feel like you just don't have the money to buy someone a gift, like, it's okay. We all students, and some people are not at a good financial place to be doing such things, you know. And I was like, no, don't give him pressure and whatnot. But like, it's like you can't even make that effort of just, hi guys, of just even writing a letter. So I was definitely disappointed, but I didn't voice out my disappointment. And that's one other thing. Like, if you just keep quiet, the person's gonna think they're doing everything right, or there's nothing wrong that they're doing. And that's where a lot of relationships just get messed up, because you're thinking that I'm doing the wrong thing or I'm doing the right thing because the other person didn't verbalize. Sometimes what you see as wrong, they might not see as wrong. So yeah, it's definitely one of the things. Now, all the things that I'm saying right now were things that I figured out when I was alone, i.e. when I was single. And I figured out, I was like, no, because I sat down, I was like, no man, that can't be right. Like, it's not right. Like, I used to downplay it and be like, no, it's fine, don't worry, you know. But I was like, no, it wasn't okay, it wasn't fine. And that's why with, I think, new relationships, it's good to state what your love language is, because my love language is quality time and gifting, giving gifts and receiving gifts. It's like, some people think it's very materialistic, and it's like, oh, you just want materialistic things. It's not just that. Like, gifting is, it's like someone taking the time to understand what you love, what you like, and then they go to the shops and they buy that because it's something that you love. They took the time to figure out you, like, what is your thing, what's something that you'd be interested in, what's something that you love. Like, that already in itself is like showing real interest in someone. And then using their money to actually go look for something and buy it. Money in terms of like transport, you're gonna obviously get there somehow, whether it's with an Uber or someone else's car. It's petrol, it's transport at the end of the day. And then buying it at the end of the day, that is money, right? So it's that thing of, you love someone so much that you could actually go that mile for them. And like I said, even if you don't have the money, an initiative like just writing a letter could go way far. Like, I've written letters for birthday presents and people be like, this is actually better than a gift, like a chocolate, because you pour your heart out and how you truly feel. So yeah, definitely for me, if I'm gonna have my next Valentine's Day, probably not this year, but one day, definitely gifts and stuff like that is definitely my love language. And I expect my partner, okay, no, I take that back, not expect, I will tell my partner that that's my love language and that's what makes me happy. So yeah, that's the one part. I feel like this video is going to be very long. I'm going to use this blush. This is from Rimmel. It's the Rimmel London blush, sorry, and it's in the shade Pink Rose. I'm not a huge fan of blush, so I'm just going to use a little. And then we're going to move on to eyeshadow. Yeah, see, I really don't like blush. Like, it's just not the thing for me. This one is actually for darker shades, but I'm just going to use like a little. Okay, cool. We're done with the foundation part. I'm going to do my eyeshadow and then I'll be back. So my eyeshadow, I am doing this series on my Instagram. It's called #5beats with Naledi. So do check out the eyeshadow look that I'm gonna create for this look. I will link it down below, you guys. You can still check it out. It's still available. By the time I upload this video, the whole series will be finished, but the video is still gonna be available on my Instagram. So yeah, do check it out. Okay guys, so I just put on lip gloss. I lined my lips with like a black eyeliner, just a little bit, not too much, just to give it like that dark lip effect. So I'm gonna put on some lip gloss. This is the Essence lip gloss, and I already put it on just to touch up. And voila, love it. So I'm gonna set my makeup with the Lasting Fix spray. Before that, I just want to go in with this one more time because I feel like my face is getting a little bit oily again, but just a little bit, not too much. So yeah, with regards to the topic, guys, that's all I wanted to say. I have glitter everywhere. That's all I wanted to say about the importance of being alone, and also what is self-sabotage, and just getting some things off my mind, to be honest. I also wanted to talk about 2020, but I think that paused. But honestly, that what was that? Like, that year was something else. What the heck? I don't know, like, oh, wow, 2020 was something else. I never expected it. I never expected it because, you know what, during January and February last year, I was like hoping for a really great year, and I was like, yes, I'm ready, you know. I was in a great space mentally, and then the pandemic hit, and I'm not gonna lie, that affected the mental health of a lot of people, myself included. That's when I realized that sometimes social media lies, because even though I was posting at times on my Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, some days I wasn't okay. I woke up and I filmed, but I wasn't okay. So I just think it's important to take care of your mental health as well. Go to therapy if you have the means to do so. I highly recommend that, and I think I've said it before also on my channel that I highly recommend therapy. It's really a great thing. And you know what, to end off the video, I just want to say, like, you deserve happiness, you deserve love, you deserve to be appreciated, you deserve to not have to ask. What do I mean by to not have to ask? Like, to be in a space where you don't have to ask your lover to treat you right. You don't have to ask your partner to do the right thing when you've voiced out how you feel about something and you feel like they're just not getting it. So you deserve that. You really do. And stop self-sabotaging yourself. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. I'm also learning not to. I'm in the process of, you know, moving on and all that stuff. So we're not all perfect. Some days are good days and other days are bad days. But sometimes you need to be like, no man, I deserve love too. I deserve good things. I deserve to attract good things to me as well. And trust me, when you change your wording, great things happen. Believe you me, they really do. So yeah, that is it. I don't think I need to say anything else. I don't want the video to be way too long, but that is it for the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun. The eyeshadow look that I did over here, which is like a green eyeshadow look, it doesn't look that great on the camera in terms of detail, but I really like it. I created it on my Instagram, so I'll link the video down below for you guys to check on my Instagram page. So yeah, do keep a lookout for that. And that is it. Let me set my face and then we're gonna end off the video. So I'm using my Maybelline Master Fix and I'm just setting my face. Okay, and that is it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was nice to listen to. Maybe if you were just looking at the makeup, then I hope it was also nice to watch. But anyway, tell me if you guys like these kind of videos. I will definitely do them. Like I said, they are a lot of work in terms of editing, but I don't mind doing them for you guys. I actually have fun doing it. But yeah, that is it from my side. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video.